Hello, I'm Coercer, and we're watching games from ArtifactCup number 29. We are now in the first semifinals series. We've seen Tren and Descara duke it out on two maps, and the score is now tied 1-1. So we have now arrived at the tiebreaker game. Since these games are all best of 3, and this one will be played on Clash Teeth, which is the classic Deserts of Kharak map. It's the first one you ever play on, probably because it's the one that's selected by default, and it'll be interesting to see what these players pull out to secure victory, as everything is now riding on this game. Once again, we have Descara, there we go. Descara playing as the Coalition, and Tren playing as the Knef. So Tren is immediately constructing salvagers from his carrier and his production cruiser, and using his base runner to build a blast drone. Now, I believe I haven't mentioned this, but we'll be watching this from Tren's perspective. Descara has spawned up here as the Coalition forces. Now, both players are currently just building up their economies. So I guess I can talk a little bit about the map. So Clash Teeth is a bit interesting because it's fairly small, and your carrier can't really move that freely around this map. These dunes here prevent any carrier from going through, as well as this passage here is unpassable terrain for a carrier, so all carriers have to move in this sort of S pattern across this map. So it is very predictable where a carrier can show up, and usually carrier showdowns happen in this middle part of the map here. Now, if you're playing as the Galsin or as the Knef, assault ships can be very good at controlling these basically choke points here. You can place them right below this ridge or somewhere in here in this valley, and enemy units will be forced to move across the dune to engage. And those assault ships with their area attacks can decimate enemy forces that way. Now Tren is cutting around with his blast drone. If he is indeed scouting with it, he might be looking to deal some damage to Descara's mining operation, but with just one blast drone that probably won't be worth it. He'd need two to take out salvagers with it. Descara is using an LAV to do the same. And Tren also has a sense coming out to see what's coming towards him. Descara has gone for an AAV opening. If you're playing Coalition or Saban on Clash Teeth, that is probably the best build you can go for. You're almost guaranteed to get some salvagers, or at least disrupt the enemy's plans with your AAVs. Tren is focusing down Descara's LAV with two sand skimmers, so he should be able to take that out, unless that AAV starts to be troublesome and Descara's LAV gets away. Tren positions his production cruiser right here on this dune, so the assault ships pop out right where he needs them. Now the assault ships can withstand AAV fire if they have at least one armor upgrade, much more durable. Tren is researching armored unit defenses level 1, so as soon as that finishes, these armored units, these assault ships will be able to withstand that incoming damage much better than currently, and if these AVs clump up, one assault ship will be able to deal damage to both of those units. Tren is trying to hit those AVs with missiles from his Knef carrier. Descara is deftly avoiding them. Descara uses a smoke to save that AV for a bit, while that assault ship is just pounding away at the other AV. Now, with two assault ships on the field, Tren should have an easy time fighting off these forces. And indeed, that crippled AV goes down, and now the second one will be defeated by those two assault ships. Descara tries to wiggle around the top of this dune to take out that assault ship, but he does not succeed, and in the meantime Descara was harassing Tren's resourcing operation with another AAV, and Tren manages to save his salvagers. So now that AV is being boxed in by 3 assault ships, and another assault ship is moving out to intercept any other forces. So it looks like Descara didn't really do any economic damage, but he did force Tren to stay in his part of the map, in his main. And those salvagers, of course, are not doing anything at the moment. And as soon as that AV goes down, Tren reroutes those salvagers back to the resource pile. Now in the meantime, Descara has built a support cruiser, so he is in a better position economy wise. Tren is still long distance mining. He has not a research production cruiser to find the moment, and it looks like he is going on the offensive with the production cruiser, with all of these assault ships. And another base runner is now out on the field. That Bastion is still scouting around, so it looks like Tren really did build that Bastion just to see what was going on in the map. Let's see what Tren will do with his forces. Has he researched any other tech? Yes, he is researching interceptor fabrication, and since Tren knows that AAV openers are followed by strike fighters, he's probably trying to prevent Descara from just spamming strike fighters and destroy his ground-based forces that way. All those strike fighters launch. Descara has 6 available to him, or 2 in the hangar and 1 is still being constructed. But that production cruiser does have anti-air capabilities, so it should be able to ward off a few of those strike fighters, but it can be overwhelmed. Descara is placing down turret posts with his base runners, and those are able to deal substantial damage to these assault ships before they can close in and deal damage. And 2 turret posts firing on one target can be quite devastating, and you can just see how quickly the health goes down. Not even one turret post gets destroyed by those assault ships, and now Descara is using his carrier to block movement. In the meantime, Tren does secure an artifact, while Descara is sending out strike fighters all across the map, just dealing damage to anything they can find. And it looks like Tren has decided to give up on a normal game plan and is moving out with his Knife carrier. Maybe he is looking to just try and deal enough damage to Descara's carrier, or maybe he will try to take out Descara is resourcing those long range Knife missiles, and this production cruiser is now completely isolated. Tren basically isn't mining anymore. All of his salvagers are taking a long way, a long time to get to his carrier to deliver those resources. And I'm not sure if Tren didn't just give up at this point. There are lots of strike fighters in the air pounding away at his carrier. He does have a base runner around, so he could collect more artifacts, but Descara just pops out with the base runner and snatches this middle artifact right in front of Tren's nose, and he's now moving that base runner through Tren's side of the map, since he knows that that production cruiser is over there on that side, and Tren basically has no military units there. He has seen what is going on the map with those strike fighters, and Descara is now focusing on that production cruiser. He knows that he needs to take that out to prevent Tren from building any more ground-based military units. Looks like Tren doesn't have enough resources to commit to building any interceptors to help with taking out those strike fighters. And Tren picks up the far artifact with his base runner, and it looks like he will be able to deliver that unless Descara just swarms it with strike fighters. This Tren's salvagers are still delivering resources, and that protection cruiser does make it, but I'm afraid it won't live for much longer if Descara comes in with more strike fighters, and indeed 4 more strike fighters are incoming. And one volley from those first 3 is enough to take out that production cruiser. Tren is now moving ahead with his carrier. It looks like he had a movement. He had some movement queued up to go into Descara's main. Now he loses the base runner that's carrying the artifact, and right now afraid Tren knows that he's lost the game. He's just trying to make anything happen, anything at all. That base runner is contending with Descara's base runner for that artifact that's about to pop, and they're just bumping each other off the point while Tren is bombing both of them with those missiles. Strike fighters, of course, now have free reign of the map since this production cruiser is down. Tren doesn't have any other anti-air capabilities, and I guess he could research missile ship fabrication, but then he has no resources to build anything more. He did research 2 power reserve levels, so he has quite a bit of power to shuffle around on his carrier, and he manages to snatch that artifact with his base runner, but it doesn't have enough health to survive. Descara's carrier is now right in Tren's face, and those strike fighters are focusing down that base runner. Now it looks like Tren is trying to run away from Descara's carrier. If Descara manages to get close enough, those kind of missiles won't be able to hit his carrier, as there is a minimum range at which you must launch the kind of missiles, at least the ones from the carrier. Descara is carrier hugging Tren's carrier, and it really looks like this is the end. There are strike fighters in the air bombing Tren's carrier, while Tren is focusing down that support cruiser to prevent Descara from healing up, but that's just too much damage being dealt to Tren's carrier. I'm sure that Tren has resigned himself to his fate, and that Descara will be winning this match. Tren's carrier is thus taken out, and Descara wins the series. So, Descara would ordinarily be moving on to the finals, but that was a note from the tournament administration in the replay pack, which said that Descara wasn't feeling too well. He was playing while he was sick, and so he decided to back out of the tournament, and Tren got to take his place and move on to the finals. So that's just a short explanation, so you know what's going on, what's going to be happening in the finals. Well, thank you for watching this series of the this semi-final series, and I'll see you next time when we look at the other semi-finals pairing. Bye.